Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 17th of September 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so also just a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel here, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, but specifically our JFD research page, which you can always check out on a daily basis, and I believe you can find something useful here. So yep, feel free to visit us here at jfdbank.com, and yep, click on research, and you can access all the material that we produce here on a daily basis. So, but for now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the CAC40, so the French index. After a fantastic run last week, on Friday, the index managed to reach its 2019 high, which is near the 5,673 zone. Last time it did that, did test this area in July here, so, and to be more specific, on the 25th of July. But as we can see now, that this week has not been a very good start for CAC40. We saw this index drifting lower, and especially today, it seems to be breaking its this short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 15th of August. Now, even though we are seeing this line getting broken right now, still for us to consider the downside, this is what we need. We need to see a drop below the 5,560 area here, which previously acted as a fantastic area of support. So this way, if we see a drop below the 5,560 zone, then yep, we could start aiming for slightly lower areas. One of the targets that we've got here is the 5,432 zone. But actually, let me just quickly adjust this level very quickly. So the level probably that we're going to be targeting here is going to be this one right here. That's going to be our main one to watch, the 5,440 area. So good potential target, good potential area of support. But of course, if we see a drop below the 5,560, yep, we will aim for slightly lower areas and initially aim for the 5,504 zone, which, as you can see, acted as a fantastic area of resistance back here on the 30th of August. And then, of course, if that fails to withhold, we could see a test of the, or we probably would see a test of the this 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart if this decides to travel further down towards the 5,440 area. So again, let me just quickly mark this for our future reference. This is what we're going to be targeting here on the downside, because like I said, until then, even though we are seeing this one kind of sliding a little bit below this upside line, we need to see a break below this 5,560 zone before examining further declines. In terms of the upside here, well, it's going to be very tricky. And to be honest, even if, let's say, if it reverses and pushes higher, now what we're going to do here is we're going to probably wait until we see a move back towards the 5,657, or even better, this 5,673 zone, which is currently the highest point of 2019. And we will wait for a break above this before, let's say, examining higher levels, because all this territory right now will be somewhat of a neutral one for us. So if we see a push above the 5,673, this is good. This could be good news for the bulls, because this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then start aiming for levels that we saw. And let me just show you what I'm talking about here. We need to probably scroll back here a little bit in time, and for this one, probably jumping into a weekly chart more. So this is what I'm talking about. So guys, these are the levels that we could be aiming for if we see that push above the 5,673 zone. So we could be aiming for the levels last seen in 2017. So in the end of 2017. So one of which could be this little high here, and let me just, I'll try to capture this one. Basically, that's the highest point of December 2007. So, and this is approximately around the 5,795 zone. So, good potential target, good potential level. But again, before we could examine that, we need to see that good strong push above the 5,673 level. So, keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into another index, the S&P 500. So the S&P is currently trading slightly. Looking at the cash index, is currently trading slightly below the yesterday's close. So and as we saw yesterday, the index closed below the psychological 3,000 level. So this, of course, creates this a little bit of a bearish atmosphere. And well, I mean, right now, like I said, the cash index is trading slightly on the lower side here, and in a way, this would automatically already place the index below this tentative upside line here. Don't probably focus on it too much. But what you could focus on more is, of course, are the support and resistance levels. So, of course, I do have this level right here at 2,962 zone, which a break of which could, in a way, open the door for further declines. But we'll be very careful here. We'll start looking at slightly lower areas if we see a slide below the 2,989 zone, approximately around here, which is the high of the 9th of September. So this way, basically, we could start aiming for the 2,962. But if that fails to withhold, then yep, the next potential target is around the 2,943 zone, which previously, as you can see, acted as a fantastic area of resistance, and throughout like the beginning of from the beginning of August up until the beginning of September, it acted as a very strong area of resistance. So this 2,943 area. So we'll target that one if we see if we start seeing drops below the 2,989 zone. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. In terms of the upside, again, last week the index failed to push towards its all-time high near the 3028 zone. In a way, we're still not excluding that possibility, but we probably would need to see a move back above the highs of last week that we saw here near the 3000. And let me just quickly put this one on the chart. 3020 zone. So a nice good push above the 3020 zone could open the path towards the all-time high, and then we'll take it from there. Then we'll see what it wants to do. If it wants to climb further higher, further up, then well, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could have a new all-time high. But again, for now, it's a bit tricky here. We are going to be opening here below this upside line, but still we will be above the 2,989 zone. So in a way, there is still a chance for a push higher, but if this 2,989 zone starts breaking, then well, we could probably ignore the upside for now. Gold continues to balance above this upside line here. I talked about this one previously in one of my videos, and this upside line has been running here from around the end of May. So as you can see, the line was tested here on the 13th of September. And yep, and then it allowed gold to rebound. But the only thing is what I was talking about in my previous videos. In order for us to start at least looking at higher levels, well, ideally we would like to see a push above this level right here near the 1512 zone, and only then we'll start considering higher levels. I mean, we'll still have to clear a few of these resistance levels, like one of them could be this one right here, near the 1525 zone, and if that fails to withhold, then yep, further acceleration to the upside could be possible. But again, we'll start considering higher levels at if we see a push above the 1512. Then the next obstacle to clear could be around the 1525 zone, and if that fails, like I said, yep, we could see a further push higher. In terms of the downside, we need to see a drop below the, not only below this upside line, but also a drop below the 1484 zone, and only then we will target the downside here. So target levels like the 1456 or even 1453. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. It's at a very interesting spot right now, so let's wait for that confirmation break. Ethereum, something probably that you don't look at very often, or unless you specifically trade the cryptos. So this morning we were forming a nice a flag here, a nice, or someone can say maybe a pennant. So it depends on how you, what do you have on your chart. So we were forming a nice flag here, and it was a bullish flag given the preceding trend here that was to the upside, and yep, it exploded higher. It broke its key area of resistance near the 200 barrier, and now you can see that it's trying to climb higher and trying to push further north. But again, we'll be very careful here with this one because still, I mean, it still has some obstacles. So one of the obstacles that's coming up here is this little high that we saw on the 19th of August, and that's around the 203, or even you can round it up towards the 204 zone. So in a way, we could see maybe a hold up around here. We could see maybe a bit of correction here to the downside because we are also trading above this little tentative upside line here. And let me just quickly put this one on the chart. So in a way, what could happen here is if this 204 zone continues to hold, for example, and doesn't allow the crypto to close above it, or let's say even to close a daily candle above it, we could see this one reversing back down, correcting back to the downside here, potentially testing this upside line, and then we'll take it from there, because this is where it could also meet its 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So basically, very good area of support could be here, and we could be getting something like this in the end. So basically, for now, guys, keep your eyes on this potential idea. Keep your eyes on the 204 zone. If it holds, we could see a bit of a correction back to the downside, and maybe even a travel all the way here towards this upside support line, or this 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. And if both of these hold, we could see the bulls stepping in here again and driving this one higher. And then we will probably wait for a nice good confirmation break above the 204 zone, and then aim for higher levels. Again, this could be a bit of a cautious approach, could be very careful approach, conservative approach, but still, nevertheless, we'd rather be safe than sorry. And then we could target areas like the 216 area, approximately around there, near the highs of the 11th of August. In terms of the downside here, for us, we'll be very conservative and take a very cautious approach and wait for a break of this upside line and a drop below the 188.5 zone here, and then target lower areas. But again, for now, it seems to be more willing to travel higher, but let's see how it's going to perform around this 204 level. So keep your eyes on that one. GBPCHF. Very interesting developments here. So we are keeping a close eye on it because it's currently breaking this this key area of resistance near the 1.2370 zone. So it's going to be very interesting to see, because for now you can see that the bulls are kind of they do have the upper hand. Let's see if they can push this one further north. If we see a nice daily close here above this 1.2370, this could increase the chances for a further move higher. And as you can see by the arrow drawn here, these are the levels that we're going to be targeting. Initially, we'll aim for the 1.2448 zone, and then we will aim for the 1.2495 area, or in a way, you could round it up towards the 1.25 zone. So good potential targets here. I don't think we could reach those today, but maybe something for tomorrow as well, because we do have some data coming out of UK tomorrow. arrow. And let me just double check that. I believe that's the CPIs that we've got from UK. Yes, that's correct. So inflation numbers from UK. Let's see how that's going to play out. And like I said, for now, probably the pair could end up balancing around here somewhere. And to be honest, I mean, we could even raise our target here a little bit. Yes, the 1.2370 looks nice, but let's grab this little high, this high of Friday, which is near the 1.2382, 86, 80, 82, 83 zone. So this just for that extra confirmation, guys. If we see a push above this, then this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target towards the target these levels that I just talked about. So for now, you can see that this is where the pair is getting held at. Let's see if the bulls have enough steam to push this one, and let's see if the bulls have enough steam to close the daily candle above this. If it doesn't close, but it, let's say, closes somewhere around here still above the one of these areas of support, and let me, there, no, not this one, this one right here, around the 122.97, or in a way you could round it up towards the 1.23 zone. If it still remains above the 1.23, then there's still a chance for this one to push higher, maybe tomorrow. If the pair starts dropping below the 1.23 area, now this is where you should become a little bit cautious, because this could lead the rate a little bit lower. But as you can see by the arrow that we've got drawn here, for us to examine the downside here, we need, at least in the short run, the downside in the short run, we need to see a drop below this little area right here, near the 1.2203, something like that. So, or in a way, you could still round it up towards the 1.22 zone. So a drop below the 1.22 could in a way lead towards further declines, and we could see maybe a test of this this short-term upside support line here, taken from the low of the 13th of August. So keep your eyes on this one. Again, this is looking more positive right now, but again, it would need to overcome this barrier, as I just said, guys. So keep your eyes on this barrier right here near the 1.2383 zone. So let's see how this is going to play out. AUDNZD, very quickly on this. So it's quite an interesting one. Basically, it still climbs higher. It's still climbing higher, and in a way, we could try to draw something like this here, basically, where we could draw maybe a nice rising channel. But to be honest, it's a bit of an ugly one, so let's probably get rid of it. We do have this this upside line here, well, resistance line, if you want, if we can call it that way. The only thing is that also what you could do here is keep an eye on this little tentative upside line here. It's almost like a channel, but not really. So for now, we're going to be very careful with this one. Yes, it did travel higher today, but failed to push above this little barrier. Let me just quickly put this one on the chart. This 1.0828 zone. So in a way, this is going to be our level to watch in order to aim for higher levels, because a nice good push above this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target slightly higher levels. For now, you can see that the pair slid back down, and in order, let's say, to consider the downside here, what you could do is aim for the low of today, which is around the 1.0784 zone. A nice good drop below this could lead the pair towards this little low, the low of yesterday near the 1.0757, but if that fails to withhold, then yep, we could see the rate falling all the way here towards this this tentative upside support line. It's a very interesting pair, guys. Very technical, and like I said, it does like to create these higher highs and lower lows. So keep your eyes on this one. And like I said, if we get a push above the 1.0828 zone, we could see this one traveling a little bit higher here, and then we'll take it from there. We may see a test of the 1.0850, or even above that. In terms of the downside, like I said, if this suddenly drops below the 1.0784, then we could see a bit of a slide here to the downside. So for now, like I said, guys, it's a very interesting one, so keep your eyes on this one. And the last pair for this session is going to be USDJPY. Now, very quickly on this, we've thrown out this idea here on our account and trading view, and basically the idea was to keep an eye on some of these potential breakout points, and basically this is the idea that we threw out earlier on. And long story short, guys, basically this is the potential breakout territory that we're waiting for. In a way, as you can see, it's currently climbing above this 108.26 zone, but still, for that better extra confirmation of the upside, we would like to see a push above the 108.39 zone, which also is the low of the 28th of July. And this way, the pair not only could break above a key area of resistance, but also would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could then target areas like the 109.95 or even this little high here of the 31st of July at 109.32. So a good potential target, but again, be very careful with this pair, because especially going into tomorrow, we do have the Fed, so keep your eyes on that one. So we may see maybe increased volatility on this pair, so we could see a few spikes here either way. So that's why, guys, be very careful with this. For now, technically, that's how it stands, how it looks. A nice good push above the 108.39 could do the trick here for the bulls, but again, probably for today, the pair could end up just trading around here somewhere, and the big move could come tomorrow in the evening. So keep your eyes on this one. Could be a very interesting pair to trade. And in terms of the downside here, this is the level for us to watch in order to consider slightly lower areas. The 107.50, a nice good drop below this could in a way lead towards further declines, and you can see by the chart why. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching it till the end. If you want to join me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, and that's 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, I hope you have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.